Hi everybody, and I just want to say to the speakers who are going to follow me, thank you very much for allowing me to jump the queue and come on first after the interval. But I also tweeted earlier that I hoped you'd be merciful, and I got a swift response back to say you would not be. So fair enough, I've been warned. Anyway, I want to talk to you about some work I did just after I became city architect. And it's essentially about trying to articulate universal principles that are embedded in good architecture and good design. Of course, when I became city architect, people would ask me, well, what's your favorite building? And I was kind of conscious that it wasn't. It was actually whatever I answered was important, because it set a marker. You know, oh, she likes this, she likes that, and it is important for people. I mean, I don't think, and I'm pretty sure everybody in the room agrees that it's actually not about style. It is about quality. So I tried to define universal principles that are embedded across good architecture. And I started off by making a statement which didn't make me very popular. Sometimes when you're trying to figure out what's good, you have to decide what's bad. So I said, new development in Dublin often fails at the most fundamental level, leading to disappointment and unease. Contemporary architecture is too often confused in expression and use of materials, perfunctory and mean in meeting functional requirements, inadequate in addressing the human or the civic scale, poor in response to context and in contribution to placemaking, poorly detailed and constructed. Okay, so having been horribly stern about things, I then had to say, right, okay, well, what does make good architecture? Well, it's the opposite of all of that. And what you're seeing here, flitting across the screen, are those principles. And what I'm showing you, what I'm saying is that clarity is very important, and that's clarity of form, of material. That a fit is important, you know, a fit approach to context. And it also has to be fit in terms of life cycle and intended use. It has to be durable. It has to be well made, so it has to be well crafted. And another principle is order. There has to be a sense of hierarchy. You know that thing where you actually don't know where the door is, the front door is. That's what order is about, having appropriate scale and hierarchy in a development. But the principle I want to focus on most tonight, because I could talk about these for hours, is actually one that I think is very appropriate for this evening's discussion. And it is a principle that I hadn't actually heard articulated before, but I know that everybody here will agree it's important, and it's generosity. Generosity goes to the heart of what good design is. Designers say that we're empathic. And what does that actually mean? Well, this isn't generosity, not generosity. I think you can actually identify with that. I mean, the same type of elevation, whether it's a back lane or it's a main street, hideously pokey rooms, no natural light. That's actually what generosity is about. So this is what I think is generous. That you take something that's just routine and you say, how can I make it really, really, really special? You had the Lighthouse Cinema there. The Dutch architects, Danish architects, they're really good at generosity. So you've got in the middle there a detail from a building by Alvar Aalto or Hertzberger. There's also, this again is blindingly obvious, that you take simple things that have to happen, and you say, how can I really elevate them to make them incredibly enjoyable for the people who use these spaces? It's about using your head and putting, I suppose, your heart, and I love your heart logo, putting your heart into the design, trying to put yourself in the place of the user. That's what it means. So you just figure out, how can I make these buildings more enjoyable? And how can I make places memorable? So we have the wonderful Sean O'Casey building in East Wall, which is a landmark for an area. Or we have Grania Hassett's wonderful building in Tala. And then we've got Ballymun Regeneration, which was all about taking a development that was distinctly ungenerous and turning it into somewhere that was actually designed for people. But if that's one message I can give you tonight, that's it. Be generous. Thank you very much.